Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. The big TV spectacle about to get started. The impeachment hearings. I know, you can't wait. It's always a pleasure to have our next guest on the program, RNC National Spokesperson Liz Harrington, here on the Chad Hasty Show. Liz, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you on the program as the impeachment hearings. They've kicked off the first public impeachment hearings in the House. And Liz, what do you think people can expect out of today's hearings?
Well, it's not really a hearing, is it? It's a show trial. The verdict has already been announced. President Trump has been guilty of winning the 2016 election since November 9th, 2016. And so this is just another series of events of the Democrats not accepting that result and trying to overturn it. And so here we have Adam Schiff is running another sham. Remember the last time he had a public hearing, he made it up. He lied. He was using his best screenwriting skills, because of course he's an aspiring screenwriter, to make up what the president said on the phone call. And this is the guy who has zero credibility, and he's the one who's running this sham operation. Republicans have no rights to call witnesses. It all has to be done by the approval of Adam Schiff, who is a fact witness in this case. He should be the one who's sworn in under oath. He should be the one answering questions as to how this whole sham got started, colluding with a registered Democrat in the CIA to set this whole impeachment farce in motion. This is a disgrace. It is a mockery of the U.S. justice system. And to be honest, it's going to backfire big time, because the American people are so sick and tired of these political games, and they're wondering, when are Democrats going to get to work for us?
I don't think many people are on the fence on this issue, on this impeachment deal. There was a poll out, I think earlier today, where 8 in 10 people, they've decided. they decided whether the president should be impeached or shouldn't be impeached. For those who are, maybe genuinely watching this and asking what's going on, to me, they're going to look at this and see that this is just like the whole Mueller deal, that this is just like everything else where the Democrats promised we have something, and there's nothing there.
Exactly. We've seen this movie before, and Democrats have such a low opinion of the American people. They have such a low opinion of the voters that they think they'll be able to pull a fast one. Like, we're smart. We get it. We've seen this again and again. You've been calling for impeachment long before there was ever a July 25th phone call, long before there was this Ukraine hoax. I mean, it was called the Russia collusion hoax, and we've seen it before. And New York Times was writing about this. Once Democrats had put all their faith in Robert Mueller, now they have all that faith transferred into Adam Schiff. I guess they're going to be selling prayer candles as well. This is a complete farce. And so Democrats have been trying to do this from the beginning. They've been trying to subvert the will of the American people. They've been trying to overturn the results, and people see right through it. And nobody's going to change their mind, especially when they see a rigged process where President Trump is presumed guilty and they'll never exonerate him.
What would you like to see from the Republicans who are going to be on this panel?
Just completely calling out the charade for what this is. And I have a lot of confidence in Devin Nunes, and Jim Jordan has been detailed to this committee. We are going to come out very, very strong, exposing the truth and exposing the farce for what this is. And we can ask, and this is a rigged game, the star witnesses that Adam Schiff is calling, none of them were actually on the phone call. None of them were actually anywhere near to the decision-making of what was happening in regards to Ukraine. But you know what they also confirmed? They confirmed that corruption is a problem in Ukraine. George Kent testified that he went to the State Department from the State Department in 2015 and raised red flags about Hunter Biden being on the board of Burisma, which is the corrupt Ukrainian natural gas company. George Kent, is allowed to mention it back in 2015, but President Trump's not allowed to mention it now when it was never looked into. It's a complete sham. So I'm expecting some very good pushback. We have very good members on this committee, and they're going to expose us for what this is, which is a complete and utter sham.
Visiting with Liz Harrington here on the Chad Hasty Show. Another issue that I've just got to ask you about because I think it's hilarious. Obviously, the Democrats are not happy with their top candidates because you've got Michael Bloomberg, who has decided most likely that he's going to jump in and do some type of presidential campaign. And then what the governor of Maryland may jump in as well. Liz, what does that tell you about the 2020 Democrat field?
Doesn't it tell you all you need to know about this sham hearing today? Democrats know they can't beat President Trump fair and square, so they're trying to meddle in the election. They're trying to damage him politically, because look at the field. I mean, it's a field of 24 comrades who are calling for gun confiscation. They're calling for open borders. They're calling for welfare for illegal aliens, kicking us all off our private insurance. They're calling for government takeovers of the energy sector, banning fossil fuels, and they've got 24 of them, but apparently they're not very confident about their prospects because plenty of Democrats, according to Hillary Clinton, are begging her to run, and I think it's just fantastic, and it tells you everything you need to know about the Democrats' game and their play here, because they know they're not going to beat Donald Trump fair and square. It's such a reflection of what's going on Capitol Hill today when they're so desperate that they're thinking about running Hillary Clinton again.
What is your read on Pete Buttigieg? If people look at the headlines, he is the moderate answer to all the other Democrats other than maybe Joe Biden. Do you buy that?
It's a complete joke. A moderate who wants to, pack the Supreme Court with liberal justices. He wants to get rid of the Electoral College. He wants to put us on a pathway to single payer through a public option. This is no moderate. It's a complete joke, and he's trying to reposition himself. But I think Amy Klobuchar, has it right. If he was a woman with as little experience as he has, or just running a town, a very small town in South Bend, population of only 100,000 people. If he was a woman, would he be getting this kind of attention? I don't think so. I think Amy Klobuchar is onto something here. But I think it also tells you how weak this field is, that someone with no experience is getting this much press attention.
I just think we need Marianne Williamson back on the debate stage.
Absolutely. That's what we need. That's what the Democrats need. Someone that can actually connect to real people out there.
Hey, Liz, I appreciate you joining us as always, and we'll be watching this. I agree with you. It's a made for TV event. I don't think we're going to learn anything new at all, other than maybe just how far the Democrats are trying to deceive the American people, which if you've been paying attention, you already know that. And so maybe more people will be paying attention to it. We'll see what happens. Liz, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's Liz Harrington, national spokesperson for the RNC here on the Chad Hasty Show.